Hey, we're going to do one more sample problem just to show you one of the situations that you're going to run into while you do these problems. All right? So we start the same way. We write the dimensions. We identify these by dimensions. This is a what?
2 by 3.
So we've got ourselves a 2 by 3. And this guy over here is also
2
a
by 3.
2 by 3. And so once again, we test. Can you multiply this?
No, because they're not the same number.
They have to match up. If I'm going to multiply, the columns and the rows of this have to be exactly the same, so your answer is no solution. It is not a viable problem for you guys.
The 2 inners have to be the same number, else you can't do it.
No, you can't do it. If I try to multiply a row by a column, that would be 3 times 4 and 2 times 5, and then that guy would be left hanging. Can't do it.
You just multiply the actual numbers.
Say again?
Why couldn't you just multiply the actual numbers?
Because each one is a corresponding value that relates to each other. Do you remember the first word problem? It was both small and large. They both had to represent small and large. In this situation, it just won't work out. Yes, sir?
Then would number 4 work on the worksheet?
Number 4 will work because they're both 2 by 2s. In fact, we'll do that one next. That said, we're not going to do it as a video because I know how long this is going to take to post. So we stop that, and I'm going to post. We're going to do a couple sample matrix multiplication problems. All right. Here's the exact steps I want you guys to take. Exactly. All right. This is exactly what I want you to do. First thing I want you to do is I want you to tell me the dimensions. What's the dimensions of this guy? So this right here, awesome, is a 3 by 2. All right. 3 rows, 2 columns, and we're trying to multiply that by a what?
2 by 2.
2 by 2. The first grouping, your inners, right, tell you whether you can. The columns of this one and the rows of this one, are they the same?
Yes.
So this tells you, yes, you can multiply. The outer numbers tell you what the dimensions of your answer matrix is. The answer matrix is a 3 by 2. Here is literally what I want you to do for the first few, because it's a little funky until you get used to it. I want you to make kind of a guide with a 3 by 2. So I'm going to go like this, and this is just going to be a guide. It doesn't have to be all that big. I'm going to go 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, and 2 columns. And I'm going to write this, all right? I'm going to say row 1, column 1. Row 2, column 1. You guys see that?
Yeah.
What's this one going to be?
It'd be row 1, column 2.
Oh, you're totally right.
Yeah, row 1.
Fixed. I actually messed this up. So we're going to have to pause that. Actually, we don't. We'll just keep up my mistake in there. This is still row 1 and column 2. All right? What are the rows going to be all across here?
Row 2.
Row 2. That's going to be row 2 and row 2. What are the rows going to be here?
Row 3.
Row 3 and row 3. And every single one of these are going to be in.
Column 1.
So this is going to be column 1, and every single one of these are going to be in
Column 2.
column 2. All right? Then you can come up here and kind of mark yourself with a guide. There's row 1, there's row 2, and there's row 3. And then I come over here and I write in what?
Column 1.
Column 1 and
Column 2.
column 2. And it lets you see what you're doing, right? And so the next one we do, we're actually going to show how we set it up. Is everyone with me?
Yeah.
Yes? We're good? All right. So here we go. Row 1, column 1 goes right here. We'll put a long thing for it. That's what times what?
That's 0 times negative
0 times negative 4 plus what?
4 times 5 times
5 times
4. 4.
negative 2, right? Which is hard. It's weird to see it. It doesn't fit in right because you've never done this. So boom, boom. As you move across the row, you move down the column. 5 times negative 2. All right? I'm going to come over here, and if you look at our guide says row 1, column 2, which is going to be what?
Row 1.
Zero.
0 times 4.
0 times 4 plus
5 times negative
5 times negative 4. Eamon, you got the next row for me, right there.
Wait, what?
You got the next row. You got row 2, column 1. So row 2, column 1 goes right here. What's row 2, column 1?
12.
Yeah, it's negative 3 times negative 4. Yes, sir. And then it's what? 1 times what?
Times -2.
Negative 2, right? You got to match them up. So it's negative 3, negative 4, 1, negative 2.
So how is this happening? Like how?
Let's you and I do it.
Confused.
Let's you and I do it. Do you see this next section is row 2, column 2? So I'm going to go to row 2 and column 2. And the first thing I multiply is?
-3 and -4.
So I go negative 3 and 4. And then I go,
Fork.
what's the next one?
1 and -4.
So I go +1 and -4, right like
The next
that.
one.
All right. And the last one, this
Negative
is
5
row
times-
3, although it doesn't show very well. Row 3, column 1, so it's going to be what?
-5 times -4.
-5 times -4.
Plus 1 times
Plus.
-2.
You're right, 1 times -2. Is it 1? It sure is. All right. And the next one is
-4 times -5 times 4.
-5 times 4
Plus
and
1 times -4.
plus 1 times -4. We're going to go ahead and just put an answer on there. I'm not going to write on this center line. Hopefully that'll show up. Is this still on the movie? Right out here. All right, so let's do it. What's the answer to this?
-10.
-10 is perfect. This guy is.
And this one is -20.
-20 is also perfect here.
12 plus -2, so it's 10.
10, awesome here.
And then it's 12 plus
-12,
-4.
Negative 16.
-16. Nice job. You guys are great.
-20.
I think that's a positive 20 and
20 plus 2, so 22.
18
Wait, is
and
it? Oh,
that's okay.
I thought it was a negative.
We got -20 and -4 for
Negative 24.
-24, and there's a sample problem. All right. Will you pause that?